It's 9:30 a.m. on May 15th, 2024. Now is the time set for our finalization of our budget process. Called the meeting to order. I note that Commissioners Mordhurst, Pope, and Gordon are here. The lay members of the committee, Mr. Hartman and myself, Mr. Johnson, are in attendance. Mr. Wasserman is out with medical issue. Mr. Hanson, I believe the next item on the agenda is about the cost of living and health insurance, if you'd like to give us your report.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, usually in the May formal hearing to formally approve the budget, I give you an update on the cost of living adjustments and the health insurance, if we have the health insurances at that time. Usually the cost of living is more in question because we're usually in negotiations. However, this upcoming fiscal year, all of those bargaining units have already established COLAs and that. So for the upcoming year, the COLA is going to be between 3% and 4%, depending on which union you're in. I gave you an indication of where the current CPI is for the West Coast cities with under 2.5 million. We used to have a Portland CPI, but that got removed from the statistics and that. So Portland, or the population under 2.5 is 3.6. If you look at the Seattle Tacoma area, it's 4.2. So my guess is we're somewhere between those two when you look at actual CPI and that. So the other thing is health insurance. We're having health insurance increases of under 10%, which in the health insurance industry is usually good. We've been as low as 0. We've been as high as the mid-teens. Kaiser's going to be going up about 8%, and Pacific Source is going to go up 5%. Those are the two carriers for the county. We have an overall composite rate. What we have, we don't have tiered plans. We have an overall composite rate. PERS for the July 1, 2024 is remaining the same as it was in 23. We will have an increase in July 1 of 2025. The only difference that we have this next year will be we have a fund that will absorb most of those increases that we will receive for the employer rate for PERS. It's not if we are going to get one, it's just how much it'll be. My guess it will be somewhere in the close to the 4% range. But we'll find that out usually in December sometime for the upcoming 2 fiscal years, and then we'll incorporate that into our budget when we budget for the 25-26 budget. Moving on, if you want me to, I have a memo for formal approval of the budget. There are 2 actions or multiple actions you're going to need to take. As you remember, in April, during the main budget hearings, we temporarily or tentatively approved all the budgets that were proposed. There were no changes from what was proposed. Usually between that time period and formal approval, I make any adjustments that are known to me in information updates or fiscal updates. As you know, you received a packet early on Monday morning, and then 5 minutes later I changed it because I got information late Friday and I had all the information sitting on my chair, but Nicole didn't get that till I got in and gave it to her, and she goes, "I was just trying to be proactive and you messed me up." So it's my fault. But just for example, we got $283,000 of revenue and state timber cuts that we then transferred to Public Works. As a result, their beginning fund balance is going to go up because I didn't anticipate that. And that's one of the hardest revenues to ever predict. So we just never know. Before that, 283 came in. I think we had a total of $3,000 for the year, so it goes in chunks whenever you have a big timber sale and they actually cut that particular sale. That's when you get your big infusion of money, and then it's dry, and then big pots. So that those monies range from almost 0 to 600,000, depending what year you happen to be in. But you're going to have to make modifications to two funds that, from what we tentatively approved in April, that's going to be the Public Works Fund. I mentioned during the budget hearings that I probably had too much money in capital outlay and that we were going to move some of that money to contingency. Well, we reduced capital outlay by 400,000 and moved that 400,000 to contingency. And then the other amount was the increase in beginning fund balance. So there's going to be a total increase of 200,000 for that program. And then because the 400,000 was already in the budget, it just was shifted from capital outlay to contingency. So a net of 200,000 increase in Public Works. The other fund that got modified is the ARPA account, and that was a net increase of what we tentatively approved of $800,000. So combined, there's going to be an additional 1 million in appropriation authority within the total county budget. So if you tentatively approve those changes, all the others remain the same. As I noted, FCO will probably have a decrease. Decreases are a lot easier to have during adoption rather than increases. There's a statutory limit on how much I can increase a fund beyond what was approved without bringing back the budget committee to talk about it. So decreases are always easy to deal with. The decrease for FCO or Family and Community Outreach is a result of reduced staff or reduced monies from the schools for our school-based therapists. They're all seeing budget cuts across the school districts that we provide that service to: Central, Dallas, Fall City, Perrydale. So we're getting those fine-tuned adjustments. It will probably go down somewhere about $200,000, but that'll be fine-tuned when we adopt it. The other thing that you have to do as the budget committee is formally approve the tax rate for the upcoming year. My recommendation, as it was in the budget message, is going with the permanent rate, which is 1.716 per thousand, and then levying the full amount of our public safety levy of 49.5 cents per thousand. So with that, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. You have the spreadsheet before you, and then you have the detail sheets for the budget where those changes were made.
Any questions or discussion? There are motions to tentatively approve the adjustments as proposed by Mr. Hanson.
So moved. Oh, second.
Thank you. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. We have tentative approval to the adjustments as proposed by Mr. Hanson.
They aren't tentative anymore. They are approved. So that will be the approved budget that goes forward in the budget book.
So I think the next thing we need are motions on the general fund levy and the public safety operating levy. Is there a motion to approve general fund tax levy of 1.716 per thousand for the general fund, and for the public safety operating levy 49.5 cents per thousand?
Also move.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. The levies are approved. I believe we have on the agenda public comment.
Eric, we would need to approve the minutes as well.
Oh, thank you. Let's see, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the May 17th, 2023?
So move.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Minutes are approved. And I see,
The public comment is, in the budget hearings, it's a requirement. This was just if someone showed up, give them an opportunity. It's not a requirement of this meeting.
got it. Seeing no members of the public. Then this meeting is adjourned.